Believe it or not, folks, there are a lot of different space games to explore, and No Man's Sky is one of the best. It is celebrating its decade-long run now. This game had one of the most disappointing launches. Like, I wonder if we could find, I'm not even going to find videos of it back then, but you could find a ton of talk about how this game came out, and it was just so far and away from like what they actually showed. You know what, maybe we could see, let's see, No Man's Sky launch versus reality video. I said I wasn't going to look one up. Let's see if they post anything. This is a joke video, but this is all the kind of stuff that was, so this was like the video that they were showing off before the game came out. It was the trailer that showed you like discovering new biomes, discovering new animals. All the animals looked cool. It really felt like Elite Dangerous meets Spore. And honestly, it's not as bad as these kinds of joke videos make it out to be. Okay, the song was better, to be honest. It's more that there were a lot of things that they talked about in specifics that weren't out, like the multiplayer, finding your friends, the flow of the gameplay, the availability of different parts of the gameplay. Say what you will, but it was probably one of the worst launches of the decade in terms of expectations and reality. Now it's come so far since then. So you can see it was playing mostly the same. You'd fly to a planet, you could go down to the planet's surface. It was pretty seamless. It was just that like the biomes weren't as good, the planets weren't as interesting, the game didn't have much of a story, there weren't as many factions, there weren't settlements to go and visit. Like there are a lot of things in the game now that make it much more interesting. And that's why it's been running for 10 years and they haven't charged a single dime for any of the content that you get outside of the base game. Look at all these freaking updates. So people have been enjoying it for these past 10 years. New updates, bringing in new features, new stories. The Voyagers, I think, was a really big one that brought ship interiors finally. And at this 10-year mark, it's still going strong. I think a lot of people play this game off and on whenever there's a new update, because sometimes it just doesn't lock you in for a long time. But that's been enough for them. They've been able to keep going at it, and they're making another game off the back of it called Light No Fire. This is more of a fantasy version of the game, but this one is focused on building much more detailed planets, planets that carry the same kind of scale as Earth. So essentially, this is No Man's Sky, scale-wise, but it all takes place on one planet, multiplayer for you to explore with your friends. Pretty big promise. So Hello Games as a company has really shown the rest of the industry up. Not the whole industry, but certainly games like Star Citizen, which has had thousands of people working on it, not all at once. There's been churn, but I don't doubt that they've probably gone through more than 2,000 employees in their 13-year run cycle. And this company has been fairly small the whole time. They've kept the team small, which means they didn't need a lot of money coming in, and they made a comeback after a really bad release. Down here, this is interesting. No Man's Sky features a procedurally generated deterministic open world universe which includes over 18 quintillion planets. Oof. Ahead of No Man's Sky release, Hello Games said it would take 585 billion years to see them all, so yes, less than 1% of planets have been explored, according to Sean Murray. Crazy. To be quite honest, Chris Roberts is a big numbers guy. I bet he would really appreciate that. I think that's pretty arbitrary because you get a lot of the same experience on a lot of the different planets. As great as this game is, it's still worth noting that I think it struggles with a lot of the same problems that other procedural games struggle with, that other space games struggle with. It's hard to both build a large space that feels expansive and worth exploring, while also making it feel impactful, like you're doing things that are actually useful. He left a message here, though, to follow up. We're going to read this message from him, and then they put out a trailer just celebrating the 10 years and teasing the next update. He said, "I feel surprisingly emotional today. 10 years ago, on 9th of August 2016, travelers across the universe set foot on their first alien planet in No Man's Sky. I actually joined that day. I remember joining that day, playing for like 3.5 hours, and then being like, crap, I've already gone past the Steam refund period. Which is cool. I'm happy that I did, because I still play the same copy of the game that I got that day. Perhaps you were there 10 years ago, he said, or maybe you joined later. It's very cool to me that all around the universe, other travelers have woken up on countless other planets, light years apart from each other. They took their first steps on their first planet and brought a new, unexplored universe into existence together. Since then, millions of players have made No Man's Sky their home, created insane bases, built communities, made friends, and built really creative custom ships. You can build spaceships too. That was a big addition. For any game to reach its 10-year milestone is impressive, and I think that is especially true for No Man's Sky. It's really a testament to the passion of the team here and of the players for the game. And this year, we've seen our highest player numbers since launch and won a TGA and BAFTA for Best Evolving Game. Winning awards 10 years after launch, not bad. Also, peaking your player concurrency, not bad. Just like with CIG though, I would love to actually see the real numbers. I know, they don't usually do that. Over the last decade, the No Man's Sky's players have joined us in another type of journey as we grew, expanded and deepened what No Man's Sky could be. With now 40 major updates, all free, we have expanded our sandbox universe with base building, exocraft, settlements, mechs, pets, living ships, expeditions, and rebuilt the universe several times over. Support for Switch, Xbox VR, PSVR, Switch 2, PS5, Xbox, and more has been added along the way. In fact, No Man's Sky is supported on about as many platforms as there are team members. Wait, really? In the team, like 30-something people, 40-something people? The fact that he can say that, though, is such a flex. I can't even compare this to Star Citizen. I'm reading this and I'm thinking, you know, Star Citizen's also, they're free updates, right? They're adding a bunch of stuff to the universe. They're redoing a lot of the planets, but it's a different... It's a whole different ballpark. No Man's Sky is like reiterating on a finished game that runs as people expect, with the bugs and stuff. Star Citizen is trying to do the same thing, but with an actual tech demo in the making. So as nice as it is that we also get plenty of updates in Star Citizen and a lot of different improvements, and I think that's what keeps people coming back, just like it keeps people coming back to the No Man's Sky, the actual performance of the game and the way that it works for players is completely different. Just it's the unfortunate nature of where Star Citizen is. I think people always say Star Citizen will never release a game because they make more money this way. Dude, if Star Citizen had anywhere near the reputation that No Man's Sky did, not possible because of the whole money thing, I know, but if the game had a reputation for working, I think they would make a ton more money. If nothing else, than off of the ships that they're inevitably going to keep selling. It became a bit of a meme at the time, he says, me holding up the Gold Master disc of No Man's Sky, but it did. But it was really cool to see. That's just to show how small their team was. When he took the going gold picture, I do believe this is the entire development team that was at the company at the time. Might be missing a few people, but it was a small company. And this wasn't their first game. They had been working for several years together on different things. Is this him again? Did he paste himself back in there? Why do they look so similar? Continuing on, he said, it's a bit of a meme, me holding up the gold disc, but I'm proud to say that most of the people in that photo are still at Hello Games. The No Man's Sky team has evolved over that period, of course, but it is not really that much bigger. Okay, so I guess it's not 30-something people. Since then, tens of millions of travelers have spent hundreds of millions of hours exploring and sharing their discoveries, and the universe is more vibrant now than it ever has been. Voyagers, released last year, saw more players than we've had since launch. Voyagers releasing last year was one of the single biggest updates I've ever seen to a game in terms of like the enormity of what it means. Case in point, my best video to date was covering that patch. I have not come close to making another video that did as well as my video that covered that update. And congratulations to them for figuring out ship interiors like 9 years after making the game. Great touch. They spent hundreds of millions of hours exploring and sharing their discoveries, and the universe is more vibrant than ever. Voyagers, yeah. Still, all these years later, players have explored less than 1% of the planets in No Man's Sky. In a similar way, our small team feels we have a lot left to explore in what No Man's Sky can be. In the background, we are busy cooking on our next game, Light No Fire, and big things for the future of No Man's Sky with the tease of our upcoming updated title, Cosmos. Oh, update, titled Cosmos. Sorry. I consider myself exceedingly lucky to work with these people on a game I love with one of the nicest communities in video games. If you're reading this, then it is because you have shown us a kindness over that period. Big or small, that helps Hello Games do what we do. For that, I am truly grateful. Thank you so much, Sean. Thanks, IGN, for posting this for us. Crazy, honestly, just top of the industry story, in my opinion. Almost the entire way they've handled this, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes because they're not really like talking that much about development. But Hello Games has just truly blown me away with how they've handled this, and I hope they keep going. The trailer about this 10 years, I'll let you see it in its entirety. Holy crap, they're gonna fly through these. Okay, they're not even telling you what's going on here, but in this time they've added like multiplayer, better multiplayer, ground vehicles, mechs, new security, carrier ships, and it's year 3. Swimming in the water, derelict haunted carrier ships, underwater bases, new space stations, rideable fauna, some social updates, alien ships. There's the derelict ships. New planet remakes, new foliage, new fauna, new biomes. They did VR, NPCs, the freaking Mass Effect ship. Throughout all this time, they've done so many like little crossovers and stuff where they drop in sci-fi, other sci-fi IPs in their ships. Pretty cool. Settlements were pretty big. You can own the settlements and make money from them, which I love. The Worlds updates were great. They started doing these kind of like expeditions, which gave people more to do. Not quite dungeons, but adventures to take with your friends. I think that helped too. Give people more reason to jump in. This was the big one for me, dude. This update added EVA. It added the ability to build your own spaceships. It added the ability to ride around on spaceships together with your friends. Big deal update. And then this one, the next one, added salvaging, tractor beams, and the ability to start collecting wreckage and make money from it. So like they're really starting to get more and more into that crunchy space gameplay, and I hope they keep doing it year on year. And the most recent update. And the next update. Who freaking knows what it is? Maybe they're bringing in space. I don't know. I don't want to read too much into that name, but like, what if this is something a little bit more related to like deep space exploration, kind of like how Elite Dangerous is, where you're finding, I don't know what they could do. There's definitely some stuff, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with this update. I'm guessing it's coming either late August or early September is generally when their second half update comes out. But we will be covering it here when it does.